Hello everyone and welcome to Sharp Dress Gaming, and today we are finally back with some more Pokemon trading card game online, Pokemon TCGO. Now, for those of you who didn't know, Nationals did happen this past weekend, and a new deck took the tournament by storm because of the removal of Lysander's Trump card. For those of you who don't know what Lysander's Trump card did, it was a supporter card that allowed you to shuffle both you and your opponent shuffled all cards from your discard pile back into your deck. And they banned it because it took away a way to win, essentially. Because one of the ways you can win is decking your opponent out. If your opponent runs out of cards in their decks, they lose. So Lysander's Trump card took that away, and it was extending games longer, and they're shortening the game time limit, and that was making them go longer, so they got rid of it in the long run, and it brought back a new meta type of deck that really wasn't working with that card in the format, and that is the stall deck. Now, I'm not a fan of these decks. I know, as many of you know, I'm not a fan of Seismitoad in the least. But I have to try it out because, again, it was being used in Nationals, and I tried it once. It's pretty fun, but it's not something I'm ever going to actually use, just because I just don't do that. I prefer different play styles. Now, the main Pokemon in this deck is going to be Wailord EX, a Pokemon that we've seen used with Primal Groudon. It's been used in a few other cases, and for the most part, every time you see it, it's going to be a Pokemon that's taking hits. You're not going to see it attacking, because with a 5 attack cost that only does 120 damage, it's not a very good attacking Pokemon. But with that massive HP of 250, it can take a lot of hits, considering a lot of Pokemon really only aim for the 180 hit point knockout. So Wailord's able to take that kind of stuff. So we have Wailord. We have four Wailord EX in this deck. And then we also have two Suicune, with the ability Safeguard, prevents all effects of attacks, including damage done to this Pokemon by Pokemon EX. So say a big EX is coming in to try and just wail on Wailord. We can just bring in Suicune and they can't hurt it. Now you can't necessarily just bring in Suicune because Wailord does have that massive retreat cost. But as you'll see, we have a lot of room to help with that. Because as you see, we only have 6 Pokemon. Some people, I'm not entirely sure the exact composition of the deck that took second in Nationals. I haven't had time to sit down and watch all the National stuff yet. But my friend Mark, who you've probably heard of before in these videos, made this deck for me. He said, go try it out, make a video with it if you want. And I said, you do know it, buddy. But yeah, he helps get a lot of the cards for this, and he's a really cool guy. You'll see him in the comments every once in a while. But he made this deck, so he only chose 2 Suicune. I think there was 3 in that deck. I'm not entirely sure. I've heard from other people there's 3, but again, I haven't seen any of that footage yet. I've just played with this deck, and it's been working. So we got 2 Suicune in here. And again, neither Suicune or Wailord are attacking. As you can see down here, 0 energy cards in this deck. Now, there was a few decks a while ago that also ran 0 energy. There was a quad Snorlax deck where you just played 4 of the Team Plasma Snorlax. I might try and make one of those decks as well, because I like that. You actually do damage with that with Hypnotoxic Laser, Rocky Helmet, and Rock Guard. This deck does not use any of those. There was also, I think, 4 Audino deck. You could the Quad Dino, where you use 4 different Audinos, or 4 the same, but 4 Audinos. But we're looking at Wailord Suicune. So as you can see, 0 energy. No Hypnotoxic Laser, so we're not dealing damage. The whole point is to just stall until we can deck our opponent out, and we got a few cards to help us with that. So we're going to look at, we have Computer Search here, just an item card to help us find stuff. I might actually go with Dowsing Machine. Again, I didn't build this deck, and this might be what the Nationals player used. I would go with Dowsing Machine, just because you have so many item cards in this deck, and you might want to get them back. That's just me, though. But today we're going to play with Computer Search. We have 4 Crushing Hammer to get energies off our opponents to slow them down from attacking us, so we can stall for a little bit longer. And we also have 4 Enhanced Hammers, same idea, just special energies. We have 2 Escape Ropes, and this will allow us to get our Wailord out of the active, and our Suicune up or vice versa. And we have 4 max potions. Going to be a big card for this deck. This is why I'd say run Down Machine, because you can get these cards back. You can use these max potions when Wailord's almost gone. You don't want to just throw them out there because you want to have as much damage as possible to get rid of from your Wailord or your Suicune. So we have 4 max potion. 4 trick shovel. We use this to help our opponent get rid of cards because it allows you to look at the top card of either player's deck and you may discard that card or return it to the top of the deck. I'd just say discard it because you're trying to get rid of cards as fast as possible. We also have 3 Versus Seeker. You know what these do, get back supporters. Speaking of supporters, let's take a look at those now. We have AZ, which will allow us to pick up a Wailord or Suicune if there's too much damage on it and we don't have a max potion, or another way to get him out of the active position if we need to. We have 2 Cassius, again, another way to get Pokemon picked up. We have 2 Hue. Now, you probably haven't seen Hue. It is a card from the Boundaries Crossed set. It's not a very good card, typically, but in this instance, it can come in handy because we're trying to discard cards from our opponent's hands. So if they throw a Juniper down and then don't do anything, we can discard 2 of them right away, and there's 2 more cards in the discard pile. So we have 2 Hue in here. We have 2 Lysander just to bring out the Pokemon we want to have active. Say Suicune's up and we want an EX attack to be up there, bring it up. We have 4 N to, again, try and bring our opponent's deck down. And in this deck, I would say use Ns when your opponent does have 6 prizes, just because then it makes them draw more cards for the most part. But you want to use your Ns to make them draw more. Professor Junipers, I personally don't try and use the Professor Junipers as often with this deck. I try and use all the other cards in my hand first, just because Professor Juniper is going to make you start running out of cards, and you don't want to do that. You don't want to deck out before your opponent does. We have 2 Team Flare Grunt to, again, get rid of energy cards. We have 1 Teammates, 2 Xerosic to get rid of special energies or tools, 4 Rough Sea Stadium, and this will help us to heal Wailord and Suicune even more every turn, 30 damage per turn. We have 4 Hard Charm to slow down damage intake. We have Headringer to slow down our opponent, as well as a Jamming Net. Now, like I said, this deck is super annoying. Things like Seismitoad can kind of take it on. Seismitoad doesn't necessarily do the damage needed at all times, but it can slow us down because we are running so many different item cards that Seismitoad can take all those away, and it can end up being a problem for us. But we'll end up seeing if we can find a good battle here for you guys and see how this deck works out. Alright guys, as you can see, we have a battle raring to go here. Apparently, there we go, the coin's loaded there. With this deck, I don't think it typically matters if you go first or second. But we are going to miss out on getting a basic. That's going to happen a lot with this deck, but that also allows your opponent to draw more cards, so not necessarily a bad thing. We are going to start with a Wailord here, and hopefully our opponent doesn't disconnect. At least if they do, hopefully just later in the game, because this is one of those decks that's going to make that happen with your opponent more, especially on Trading Card Game Online. People just disconnect whenever, and it's not always their fault, but for the most part they'll probably just disconnect because this is an aggravating deck to go against. Now we are seeing 2 Pokemon here and a Great Ball, so we see a Druddigon and a Miltank. Interesting choice in Druddigon here, and a Bagon as well. With the continuous headbutt, so I wonder if we'll be seeing Salamence as this Miltank's third, or the Stage 2 Pokemon to help the Miltank, but I've not seen this Druddigon. Maybe being used for the Shred, or maybe just because it also has Fire, Water as its energy attack, but you mostly see the Revenge Druddigon doing that attack. Now, we have the Miltank here. I'm just going to use the Trick Shovel for the opponent's deck. Let's see what they got there. And it looks like a Water Energy. Let's throw that away. No need to give them extra energies. And we can play the Team Flare Grunt to get rid of that energy, and then we can just end our turn here. We could Escape Rope, but I don't think it's necessary at this point. And we're just gonna wait her out here. Being that Miltank only does 80 damage a turn, and it needs to have the Salamence out to be able to do that damage, we're looking pretty good here. See a lot of Great Balls from my opponent. Maybe they just don't like Ultra Ball, though I feel that the loss of 2 cards from Ultra Ball outweighs the benefits of Ultra Ball outweigh the loss of 2 cards. And we're going to see the Shelgon and then the Wally straight into the Salamence, so this Miltank is going to be able to deal out 80 damage this turn if my opponent does have an energy, and it looks like they do, unless that's double colorless energy there. And its Powerful Friends is going to do 80 damage to this Wailord, so already getting a bunch of damage off. I'm just going to Enhanced Hammer off this double colorless energy, and hopefully at some point here we'll be able to get the energy we need to, or not the energy, another Pokemon, so we can pick up this Wailord and get the damage off it. But I'm just going to Lysander out the Druddigon to try and slow down my opponent here and end the turn. It'd be nice to get Rough Seas and another Pokemon so we can just start healing, or even a Max Potion. We see a Steven, which I believe Steven is a supporter and an energy card. So we'll probably see a Fire Energy so the Druddigon can attack here with Big Swing. But it does have that drawback. Flip 2 coins if either is tails, this attack does nothing. We do see the my opponent grab a Pokemon Center Lady. Not going to be a huge help for my opponent here since I'm not doing any damage here. Oh, we actually see the double Dragon Energy. And he goes for the Big Swing and he does whiff it. So no luck for my opponent there. We do end up getting the Max Potion and another Enhanced Hammer, so I can just knock off this energy here, making my opponent have to play more energies. I could Max Potion. I don't really need to at this point, though, so I will just wait until my opponent gets another attack off. Maybe another Powerful Friends, which would put us at 160, which we would still even live another Powerful Friends if my opponent didn't have a Muscle Band or anything on it, but we aren't going to give that up to luck, you know. And actually I can throw this Hard Charm on, so make it so that we would live a couple of them. Even better. And then we can just end the turn. See what my opponent's able to do here. This is a bit of Salamence I've been wanting to use. That Shatter attack does a ton for just a single energy, which is real nice. If Salamence could get out of my way. We're going to see a Shauna, or we saw Steven for Shauna and another energy card. So this Miltank's going to be able to get an attack off, but it is only going to do 60 damage to the Wailord. And that will only put us at 110, so we will be able to live another attack, so I'm just going to let him take another. And we actually do get a Suicune. Not the best Pokemon for this matchup, just because I don't think my opponent's going to have any EXs, but it is another Pokemon in case we do have to play AZ at some point. We do have the Max Potion, so it's not terrible. And actually, if we do AZ, we have that Escape Rope, so we can just continuously keep the Wailord in the active position. And we do see another Powerful Friends for my opponent, setting my Wailord at a point where it would get knocked out. I do have 2 Max Potions now, so we're sitting even prettier here. That's got to be very discouraging for my opponents, so they might actually... Let's see if they keep going, because at that point... a lot of people would forfeit, but it does look like they're going to keep going, building up the Salamence in the back. The second Max Potion might actually get him, which I wouldn't blame him. I'm going to put the Hard Charm on our Suicune. I could actually have kept that for the Wailord for when we use the AZ, but whatever. We just end the turn again. My opponent's deck is down to 30, and we're still sit at 40, so we're good there. We just got to be able to hold off against the Salamence and Druddigon. The Druddigon I'm not as scared about. The Miltank and the Salamence are what we're really going to have to be looking at here. The Salamence just needs a double Dragon Energy, and it's ready to start Steam Blasting, which could be very scary. We actually see a double colorless, which isn't going to be anywhere close. Well, actually, he is one away from being able to Steam Blast. We are sitting at 130, so I might have to heal. I'll bring out my Wailord. And then I'll just Max Potion here to be safe. I'll Max Potion our Wailord, and then we can just end the turn here and continue this slow but painful death to my opponent's deck. Yeah, that's elements we're going to have to watch out for. Swinging for 170, 150 with the hard charm is going to be real scary. And we actually get the computer search here. Again, I just think Thousand Machine would be so much better because we'll be able to get back one of those max potions. I mean, we'll be able to look for our other max potion now, but I don't know that I care that much. Let's see here. Just end the turn. That's all we really need to do. Yeah, there's not going to be a lot of gameplay that you do with this deck. It's just a lot of making sure everything's going to live next turn and then switching out. But that Wailord is looking a little down, so I'm just going to pick him up. Just pick him up when he's feeling down. Bring up our other Wailord, and then put this Wailord back out there. And yeah, that's looking fine. We can end the turn there. And this Miltank's just gonna have to keep swinging. He's keeping that Salamence in the back right now. And now Miltank's swinging for 80, which is a little scarier. Actually, Salamence would be able to knock out this here Wailord. We aren't gonna need Headringer in this. So actually, I'm going to discard the teammates and the Headringer to grab a hard charm so that we're guaranteed to live Salamence's hit. Well, not guaranteed, because if he has like a muscle band or a silver bangle. But I'm going to throw that on Wailord, and then we will just end the turn. And then next turn I'll escape rope into my other Wailord, and we will play Professor Juniper to get some more cards. And we are sitting above my opponent, right? 35 to 26. Yeah, that's plenty fine. And we're going to get Powerful Friends. And we actually see the Team Flare Grunt, which actually I'll just play this turn. Get rid of that Miltank's energy. And actually my opponent can't attack with that Meds, so I will just escape rope. This turn. Next turn we'll Professor Juniper. My opponent's going to bring up that Salamence, probably hoping for the energy, but he won't be able to knock out this Wailord anyway. And I think you have to discard 2 energies from Salamence, maybe even 3. Let's take a look. It is 3, so he'll have to do a big hit that won't even knock me out and discard 3 energy. And it looks like he's going for it here. He actually just goes for the Shatter for 60. So we will be able to actually... 60. Well, he can't knock me out next turn, so actually I'm just going to Versus Seeker for the Team Flare Grunt here. Pick that up and play it to get rid of the double colorless off of the Salamence. If I can just click on it here. There we go. That's not a very good mechanic for that Team Flare Grunt, in my opinion, because you can easily misclick when they're just stacked up like that. And it didn't even give me an option to be like, yes or no, do you want this one? They should like lay them out like they do when you're searching. He's just going to go for another Shatter here, trying to wear me down. Got me to 130, so I'm just going to Trick Shovel to get rid of another one of my opponent's cards. And I don't know what they have in their hand that they're not able to use, but we're getting rid of a double Dragon Energy, which is just perfect in my opinion here because my opponent needed it. And we actually draw the Rough Seas, which is even better because now I can start healing both my Wailords. If I can just activate the stadium, please. Thank you. So we can heal both the Wailords here. We're sitting at 160 with this Wailord. So we are still in range of getting knocked out, but my opponent has to get... well, they only have to get 1 energy, so it is possible. So we might end up losing a Wailord, but I'm not super concerned about it. We could actually play Hue next turn and discard a ton of my opponent's cards unless they have an N. But I don't think they do. I don't know why they have so many cards in their hand and they don't have energy, and what they're doing with all those cards. Honestly, I do not know. He does just Shatter, which gets rid of the Rough Seas. I did forget about that. But I am just gonna Hue. It is gonna make me discard, but I've got that card to throw away. So my opponent will have to discard down to 5 cards, which is exactly why this card's in the stack. I just don't know why my opponent has so many cards in their hand and not able to use any of them. Just seems kind of strange. But we are probably going to see this Wailord fall. Well, even if I had picked it up, this Wailord's got a ton of damage on it as well. He could Power Howl, but it's not going to, well, it'd be doing 100, which I think is enough to knock out this Wailord. Yeah, it would be. So hopefully I can, well, I won't even be able to get rid of any cards. But if he does Power Howl this next turn, it will knock me out. So we'll just end the turn. Maybe he won't, I don't know. I wouldn't understand why he wouldn't. But he will be able to knock out a Wailord this turn. If he plays correctly, that is. But we are down to 21 in his deck. He does Power Howl, which will knock out my Wailord. And he gets 2 prizes, so we're not going to want to end. I'm just going to bring in my Wailord here. And... let's Lysander up his Druddigan. Get that thing pushed to the back, hopefully. hold it off for a little longer. It's getting a little too active. Now he's got a huge hand again. I don't know what's going on. But he's going to attach to the Druddigan here. And actually retreat it so he can get back in that Salamence. I don't think the Salamence can knock us out, can it? No, it can't. It can Power Howl, which would do 80 with the Hard Charm. But the Salamence has proven to be more of a problem than originally intended. Excuse me. And oh lordy. I might have to sacrifice Suicune here just to keep my Wailord healthy. So I'm going to do that. Pick up Wailord with the AZ, put it back down. And I'm just trying to avoid playing these ends at this point because it's going to give my opponent so many, well, a lot more cards back into his deck where I would be losing one and he'd be gaining a ton. So I'm just trying to avoid that. I'm going to hit the end there. Hopefully I can pull a Hue, honestly. I never thought I'd be saying that I want a Hue, but I would like one, please. Crushing Hammer wouldn't be bad either, just to get rid of these energies. Again, I don't think Salamence can knock out Suicune. No, it can't. It can only Power Howl for 80, and we actually pick up a max potion, so we're going to be able to live a little longer here with Suicune, interestingly enough, going in as fodder, and now it's holding down the fort. If I'd be able to pick up Suicune, that'd be cool, but yeah, at this point, I'm not going to play an end, because we're trying to keep my opponent's deck down. He's down to 18, so in 18 turns, unless he gets a way to shuffle those cards back into his deck, I don't think... have we even seen any supporters from my opponent? We've seen a Wally and some Stevens. He has a Shauna. Why isn't he playing it? Maybe he doesn't have it right now. I don't know. I've seen Shauna. I don't know what else. Oh, he actually has the double dragon, so he's going to be able to Steam Blast, but that is going to discard three energies, so should slow him down for the time being, because now he unless he has another energy going on over there, he's going to have to shatter. So we will discard another card from the opponent's deck, being the double colorless. So again, another hit to his help, and we can just end here. Down to 16 cards in deck, and we're sitting at 20. And we do see, actually... Oh, there's a Shauna. So, putting all those cards back in, unfortunately, that is going to suck a little bit. Because now he's up to 20, so he's on par with us for deck, and he's going to Power Howl. It's gonna hurt a little bit. I'm going to escape rope his Salamence back out of here. Let's move it along. Get that mill tank up. And we'll just end the turn there. At this point, it looks like he might actually... well, we're on par, but there is a chance he might deck us out, and we're going to see the mill tank get the energy there. The unfortunate thing with this deck is you're not taking prize cards, so if cards you need are prized, you're kind of boned. We do see a Crushing Hammer, though, so I'm going to use that on the mill tank if we get the heads, which we do. So let's get rid of that. Thank you, come again. And we can just end the turn again. We should live anything at this point, even if the Salamence becomes active. We should live. And actually, he looks like he might be running out of energies. I do have a Zerosic. It's not going to be of use right now, other than discarding my own tool card. So maybe we'll see a double colorless or a double dragon, and then I can get rid of it. But other than that, is it only on active? Nope, it's just a Pokemon in play. I hate how that keeps popping it up if you do it again. And we see another Bagon actually come out finally. We haven't seen any Pokemon being played from my opponent for quite a while now. And I'm assuming that means, yep, doesn't have the energy. Perfect, and now we can start hammering these Salamence. And actually, I'm going to try and get rid of that fire energy. Yep, got rid of it. Yeah, that's honestly, in my opinion, a very bad mechanic that they just leave them stacked like that, and you just have to hope you click on the right one. But he's down to 2 water, so I don't think he can shatter at this point. And he's going to evolve into a Shelgon. And we see the fire energy actually end up going on the Miltank. This is going to get a little dicey. And he's going to Shauna again. But yeah, unless we can find another Max Potion or another Wailord, whoa, it's going to be scary. It's going to be scary. Hopefully we can get this heads. I might have to end here. Yeah. Gee whiz. Yeah, I'm going to have to end. Just because I need something here. I get a Rough Seas. That's something. Let's play that Rough Seas. Let's play another Crushing Hammer. Because now we can start healing. Not that it's going to outdo what the Miltank's doing to us, but it'll keep us around for a little longer at least. And I'll just have to end the turn there. I'm going to end up decking myself out at this point, because it looks like my opponent doesn't play Professor Juniper's or Shauna's, or not Shauna's, but just cards that are discarding, probably because he's a newer player, so he doesn't like that kind of stuff, which is helping him here. He actually plays a Chorus, which is going to make him draw a couple extra cards, which is nice. But, yeah, you see he's not playing cards that... He has a switch for this element, so he can shatter. But you can see how he doesn't want to play cards that are discarding cards, because it doesn't appeal to him, obviously. But... what can I versus Seeker? Can I look at my deck, please? Or my discard pile? No? What kind of nonsense? Okay, I guess I gotta just blind versus Seeker here. It wouldn't let me look at my discard pile. Got Team Flare Grump, AZ, which would end the game. Teammates, Hugh, Professor Juniper, N. We could N. We could N. I'm gonna grab a Team Flare Grump. The Salamence can Power Howl me next turn, and that actually knocked me out. Ugh. I'm going to Team Flare Grunt this turn and hope for the best. Get rid of the fire energy, please. Please get rid of the fire energy. Thank you, Jesus. Alright, so... now we just got to hope he doesn't have an energy. If he doesn't have an energy, he can't attack, which would be nice. He can't be having much more energy in here. What is this? An N. Okay, he plays an N. So that works for me, because I was going to play an N anyway. I don't think he got an energy off that, and we did get a Suicune. Yes. Yes, perfect. So I can play the Suicune down. I can grab the Team Flare Grunt again and get the Salamence down to another energy, which will be perfect. So get rid of one more there. We have 9 cards. He has 13. That's not good. He's got more than us, so we will deck out before he does, which is not how this deck is supposed to work. Yeah. We have, I think, one more Max Potion lying around, so hopefully we can find that pretty soon. We do find another Wailord, which is nice. Maybe we'll be able to pick up our Wailord, get this one active. Maybe he'll be sad, but I just don't know, folks. Because at this point, we're decking out before he is, so that's not good. We're going to have to find a way to discard a bunch of his cards or make him draw extra cards. I don't know. We do have one more hue, so if it's not prized, I can maybe pull off an N hue combination, but we're just pulling cards we don't need, and it's making our decking out process not working as well. We need him to play a lot of cards, and then I can N. But it doesn't look like he can do anything, and I can't do much back, so... But yeah, definitely not playing cards like Ultra Ball and Professor Juniper really helped him out here because he's not discarding. Whereas a lot more Speak of the devil, there's a freaking Ultra Ball right there. Not that he's going to play it now, so I might as well discard it. He's down to 8, we're down to 5. That's not good. That is not good. That is not good. Not good. But it's looking like he doesn't have energy. At least he doesn't have fire energy. Lordy, lordy. Alright, so we're down to 4. Pretty soon we're gonna have to end, making this game longer. He does have a fire energy sitting on that mill tank, and it's probably gonna be stuck there, to be honest. He does get a water energy for the Salamence. And we get a rough sea, so I can start healing my poor little Wailord here, so it doesn't die, because, oh boy howdy, that, I think we're going to have to end here, just in case he gets another energy, because then he'll take out the Wailord with the, whatever that second attack is called. And we do end up pulling another Wailord, so we have all of our Wailords, all of our Suicunes have been played, so all of our Pokemon have been played. He's at 11, and we're at 4. Yeah, we're gonna deck ourselves out before he does, which will serve us right, to be fair. But as long as he doesn't have a fire energy, we're kind of good to go. Oh, he gets rid of my rough seas. What does he have? He has a training center, which gives, well, not that it matters. I was gonna say gives Salamence some more health, but we're not doing damage to Salamence, so it doesn't matter. So I'm just going to end again. Golly, we got a bunch of nonsense that's not going to help us. And I think the last 2 cards are Enhanced Hammers. I think we're done here, boys. I think we are done here. They outlasted us. No. He has the other Salamence, too. What does this Salamence do? Break Wing. When you play this card from your... Why did that... Oh, you get to get rid of a tool card. So I got rid of my tool on my Wailord. Alright. I've got 1 card left, and if I play this N, I will still have 1 card left. So I guess I'll just keep it until next turn, and then I can just have 1 card left again. Oh boy, oh boy, boy, boy. If they would have played the chorus here, it would have been better. Maybe they have another chorus and they'll play it by mistake. Yeah, we don't have any cards to use, so I'll just end here to give us 1 card again. And then we're kind of poop out of luck, so... Yeah, it's looking like a loss for Wailord Suicune here. Not every day that you see a deck out, or... an opposing deck out Wailord Suicune. We do see my opponent grab an N and a nothing. He has no energies left, so he can't attack us. So he's just stalling us out at this point. Well, he does have that mill tank. Well, I'll just end the turn. He can end the turn, and he wins. Oh, that is a little upsetting. But you can't help but laugh. So we ended up decking ourselves up. That's the one thing you have to watch with this deck. I think playing the N at that one point was a mistake. I just really needed another Wailord to stay alive. And it ended up biting us in the butt because we were a good like 13 cards ahead of our opponent, or had 13 cards left in our deck over our opponent, but that N I think really got me. So feel free to try this deck out, guys. It is, again, it's not like a super engaging deck, but when it works, and yeah, hopefully you go against people that are actually using Ultra Balls and Professor Junipers, because that does really help your cause. But other than that, guys, have fun. If you guys have any suggestions for decks I should try out, let me know in the comment section below, and we will see you next time. Bye!